Everyone, this is Matthew with Swoopo Manual, and I'm so excited to share something with you today. I have gotten to know Jason from Swoopo Analytics over the last couple of months, and we've been testing a new piece of software that he created that just gives you an amazing amount of data on Swoopo auctions and really takes the guesswork out of winning on Swoopo. So I'm so excited to show it to you. So this screen is the screen you're all familiar with. It's the Swoopo bidding screen. And you can just take a look at the auctions, see what's for sale. You're all used to that. Now let me show you what Swoopo Analytics looks like. Here's the login screen, and when you purchase Swoopo Analytics, you'll get access here. And I'm just going to log in with my information. And now here's Swoopo Analytics, and this sort of looks familiar, doesn't it? It's the same Swoopo screen below, but the difference is this toolbar above. And what this is the actual live Swoopo site below here that you see, and then above is where you'll get tons of actionable data about a Swoopo auction. So let me scroll down and I'll pick an auction that I'm interested in. And let's see, flip camcorder sounds good. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the link, or I could hover over the image too, and I'm just going to drag it to this area in the upper right hand corner where it says drag and drop. See that? I'm just going to let it go. That just puts the link there. And then what I'm going to do is click change auction. And that's it, two-step process. And this will load that auction, and it'll load information on that auction as well. So now I'm on the flip page, and this website did that automatically for me. And then look at all this data, and I'm going to go through it each one by one so you can see it specifically. So the first thing is auction statistics, and this is really basic. It's just the number of bidders, the current price, the start time, and the time since start. And you can see below, here's the auction we're looking at, flip auction. It's going for $3.24. I can see it recently sold for $51. I can see that it's a global auction, and there's also a Swoop It Now enabled on this one. So a lot of cool information. So the first thing in Swoopo Analytics is just auction stats. That's pretty basic, right? Stick with me, it's going to get a lot cooler. Now let's do auction bid timeline. This is a history of every single bid that's been placed on this auction, all the way down to the beginning. And you can see it's a 12-cent auction, so it's going up in 12-cent increments, and I can see every bidder that's placed it. So it's sort of like this bidding history, just amped up even more. That's auction bid timeline. Item close prices. Now you know how Swoopo below here says recently sold for $51? Well, you could, in the past, do Google searches or just go back in the history and pull up and see how often or how much this flip has sold for in other previous auctions, not just the most recent one. Well, Swoopo Analytics does that for you. If I look here, here's the closing prices of the most recent the most recent flip auctions. So I can see the last one went for $7.20, 46, 51.24, which is the price they quote. It's actually the third most recent auction. I'm not sure why they don't pull the most recent one. I guess that was probably the most recent one when this auction started. And 44, $30, 28, 66, and 552. So what can you do with this data? This gives you a really good idea of when to start bidding. If you know the average sale price is between, let's say, $28 and $52, that's a pretty good range. Between 28 and 52, you can start bidding right about the $28 range. And you'll know how many bids you need to win because of how many bids it took to win this auction. I'm going to come back to this screen. And then I can also see the winning bid type. So I can see that the most two recent auctions were one with the bid butler. The third one was one with a single bid. And it looks like it's pretty evenly mixed with this flip camera. If you have like a MacBook or an iPhone, a really popular auction on Swoopo, this page will be a lot longer of most recent item closes. So you'll just get a ton of data there. Now we're going to go back to more information on this specific auction. This is top bidders by the number of bids. And look at this. Not only do we get to see the top bidders in this auction by the number of bids, but we get stats on those bidders. So this Delbers here, they've been on this auction for 21 hours. They've placed 8 bids, and so this means they probably came into this auction a long time ago, placed 1 bid, and then came back maybe, so they didn't get locked out. I can also see that Delbers has won 40 auctions and they've tracked 371 auctions. So they've bid on 371 auctions. It's just crazy. Now let's go to the latest bidders. And again, this is just a list of the most recent bidders, similar to the bidding history. If I scroll down then, I can see all of the bidders, again, all of their stats. So I can see Katie has bid 10 times in this auction, but doesn't have any wins, and she's bid on 4 auctions. Kay Lewis is the only other person with an auction win, and they've won 1, and they've bid on 16. But let's focus on this Delbers again, because this is going to be really interesting. He's won 40 times, and he's bid on 370. So now if I hover over his name, I get even more in-depth stats on this bidder. So I can see basic stats. This is how many times they've placed bids, $6,000. So they've probably spent on Swoopo maybe $4,000, which seems like a lot, but then you see the number of wins they've won, 40. So they're winning some crazy stuff on Swoopo. Let's see their active auctions. This is the only auction they're bidding on right now. It's just this one. If I click on past wins, I can see they've won a netbook, which is like a small laptop, a toothbrush, a pocket video camera, another netbook, another laptop, a digital camera. My goodness, a couple more digital cameras, more laptops here. All sorts of things, flash drives, cordless drills, another laptop. So clearly they've won their $6,000 they spent in bids on Swoopo. So man, if anyone has doubts that Swoopo can work for the Swoopo pros, you just need to direct them to this video and tell them to watch it, and they'll understand. And then I can go to past losses too, and I can see all of his past losses. Just to show you what he has bid on and maybe not won on. So this may be interesting to see what he's won versus what he's not won. And if I go back to basic stats then too, I can also see a win percentage for him. So I can see he wins about 3% of his auctions. But again, that must be profitable for him. And it looks like in this auction he came in and he just placed 1 bid and then came back. So it's possible that a lot of these the reason his win percentage is so low is because he's placing 1 bid in an auction just to kind of get his feet wet and make sure he doesn't get locked out, and then he comes back. So that, in a nutshell, is Swoopo Analytics. So now how do you use this data? Well, when I come into an auction, how I've been using this lately is I come into an auction and I still make decisions based on the Swoopo manual and all the other information I've gathered on Swoopo and make decisions. But then when I'm ready to take action, I consult with Swoopo Analytics and I just get detailed stats on everyone that's bidding. And I can go in with confidence because I don't need to wonder whether or not there are other Swoopo pros in the game, whether or not they're bid butlers. You just get to see everything. This is crazy. So I've been super excited to share this with you. I think I'm going to shoot some more videos over the coming days to share it with you. I'm just now getting my feet wet with the system. It was released about a week ago. And I'm so excited for Swoopo Analytics. I'm so excited to share it with you.